Hello everyone and welcome back to the endings of Impey's Route. Um, I'm not going to rewind it because it goes straight into this after the song and I don't want to replay this song. So we're just going to jump right into it, and I want to do all of them in this one. Leave timestamps down below if you want to see a certain one. We're going to do happy, the two bad ends, and then the good end. Impey? Impey, where did you go? Just ran around looking for him. That guy, everyone's going to be here soon. I sigh quietly to myself. I walk through the halls of the mansion searching for Impey. But the mansion is completely empty and I can't find Impey or anyone else. Just then, I hear a sound from the living room and take a peek in there. Impey? There's nobody inside but a single dog. You're just a dog now, Cece. You don't have a name. Cece turns to me, then tilts his head to the side and barks happily. Oh, it's just you, Cece. Hey, Cece, do you know where Impey is? Sorry, you probably wouldn't know. I pet Cece absently as I let my thoughts drift. I never noticed this, but you've grown a little since I first met you, Cece. I wonder if I've matured a little compared to a year ago. Wow, it's been a year. Yes, it's already been a year since the incident with the Nautilus that thrust London into unprecedented crisis. The damaged parts to the city have been rebuilt, and the horrors of that day are starting to fade from the people's minds. Looking back, the days and months really flew by. I sigh again and look around the empty room. It feels so strange. Just a year ago, we were all here. Oh, they kind of took off in their separate directions, didn't they? Lupin, Van Helsing, Victor, Saint Germain, and Delhi. There was so much going on back then, and it really was always chaotic. But thinking about those days brings up so many fun memories. But now everyone's gone off on their own separate ways. The time we spent back then feels like a dream. The first person to leave the mansion was its owner, Saint Germain. Just leaves his mansion. Right after the Nautilus incident came to a close, he left the mansion behind, saying that he had returned to France. Saint Germain left the deeds to the mansion in the care of Impey and myself. He simply left a note behind, saying that he wouldn't be returning to Britain for a while, so we were free to use the mansion. That's funny, he just ups and leaves. What they don't tell you is that he has mansions in other places as well. France, I think, is one of them. He just, if he needs a different place to stay, he just goes and like inhabits one of his other mansions around here. He's really rich. The next two to leave the mansion were Van Helsing and Delhi. Unbelievably, Van Helsing is now one of Delhi's subjects. Once it's all over, I'd gladly give myself to you to be killed. That's what Van Helsing had said previously. After getting advice from Impey, the answer that Delhi arrived at was to command Van Helsing to become his subject instead. That's really funny, you just command him. Van Helsing was surprised at first and refused, but ultimately he did swear to serve the boy king as requested. Delhi has big plans for the heir to the throne of the vampires. He is going to continue speaking with the government, working to create a region for the vampires to gather and live peacefully. At least that's the same throughout all the routes. Those two really are working hard. Victor and Lupin too. Victor and Lupin are still here in London. Victor is looking for something in the city and said that he can't leave until he finds it. While he continues his search, he also started a clinic in the poor area to bring in some measure of income. The residents of the neighborhood call him Doctor as a term of endearment since he charges very reasonable rates for his help. As for Lupin, he's still chasing after clues regarding the terrorist attack that Twilight had been planning in London. The Nautilus incident has been settled, but the connection between Nemo and Twilight remains a mystery. Yeah, until later, Roots. And Shums. Recently, we finally got fed up at his inability to find any leads and shockingly went to Sholmes to ask for help. He's actually working alongside Shulms, the man he had declared as his nemesis. It's hard to believe. Oh. As I sit here with my memories, Cece gives me a warning bark. I look at the clock and see I have lost track of time. Sleeping. Oh no, look at the time. I need to finish getting ready for the party. That's right. It's been a while, but today everyone is getting together. I'm so excited that it's hard to contain myself, but where in the world could Impey have gone? I was hoping he would be able to taste my cooking before the others arrived. Just as I'm mumbling this to myself, it explodes something outside. The sounds of an explosion outside rattles the windows. Impey? I cry out and force the window open. I see the smoke rising from around his studio like a smoke signal. I run to Impey's studio and stand in shock at the scene before me. The area surrounding the shed is completely filled with billowing smoke. What is this? What happened here? From the sound earlier, it's apparent that something must have exploded. Well, yeah. Is Impey alright? Impey, say something.
Oh? その声は、マイプリンセス?
I hear his voice coming from the ground nearby. A figure rises up from the carpet of smoke, holding his head. The wind begins to blow the smoke away, revealing Impey sitting there.
いや、煙が晴れた先に絶世の美女がいるとか。
That's cute.
一瞬天国に行ったかと。びっくりした。
What was that explosion? Are you hurt?
怪我はないけど、ちょっと苦しいかな。
Impey winces and rubs his hand over his chest. Your chest hurts. Is it your heart or your lungs? Is it because you inhaled smoke? You should lie down and get some fresh air. I get behind him and start to rub his back, but Impey shakes his head and turns back to me, taking my hand.
いや、ダメだ。この胸の苦しさは、そんなことじゃ癒されない。
And then he's gonna do some poetic drama saying, only you can cure my heart.
なぜなら、君への激しい愛が、この苦しみの原因だから。あれ、滑った？
I guess it was a joke. Impey, please don't fool around in situations like this.
ごめん、怒っちゃった？
I'm not mad.
嘘、明らかに怒ってるって。ほら、反省してるからさ、機嫌直してね。
Does he really feel bad? I sigh, then clearly tell him how I feel. It's important to do research. Just be really careful with your dangerous experiments. Don't make me so worried.
うん、そうだね。今度から気をつけるよ。
Impey smiles kindly and gently strokes my hair. I guess I know what they mean when they talk about having a soft spot for the ones you love. Impey's words and actions haven't changed one bit since we met. But now everything he says leaves a mark on my heart. How can I possibly stay mad at him like this? This isn't fair.
ん？何か言った？
Nothing. Anyway, what were you up to? You seem to have been working on some strange experiment for a while. It's almost done. I want it to be a surprise. Impey's been telling me that a lot lately and gave me a strict orders not to go near his studio. I wonder if that's related to the explosion. Impey laughs boyishly and points to an object that looks like a small cannon.
そう、見てちょうだい。ここのところ作ってたのはこれなんだよ。これが完成したら、俺たちの素敵なハネムーン計画がまた一歩前進だ。
Is that a cannon?
そう、苦労した試作第1号。まだまだいろんな問題はあるんだけどね。
So that explosion earlier was...
そう、火薬の調合を混ずって大爆発。
Impey laughs and states the scary fact. It's no laughing matter, really. But still, I lose any incentive to get angry with him when I see his childlike smile.
こいつはね、まず火薬の力で空高く弾を飛ばして打ち上げた砲弾はそこからさらに強い推進力で宇宙に出るんだ。俺の計算が合ってたらそのまま月に向かって一直線。
Why don't you just invent the rocket? Really? To the moon?
そう想像してみてよカルディアちゃん。俺と君がこの手で飛ばしたものが空を越えてどこまでもどこまでもそれであの月に届くんだ。
Impey looks up at the moon and points to it dramatically. The dazzling full moon looks down on us peacefully. All the way to the moon? Wow. Reaching the moon would be an amazing feat, but Impey is even more amazing for making such a thing reality. He just charges forward without any looking to make whatever he thinks of become a reality. I'm able to stand alongside him, supporting him in making his limitless dreams come true. This makes me happy from the bottom of my heart.
さあそれじゃ早速試作第1号を打ち上げるよ。
Who are you gonna launch? That's right now. If this experiment is such a big deal, maybe we should wait for everyone else to arrive.
この最初の打ち上げは君と2人でやりたいんだ。大好きな君と2人で。
Maybe he looks deep into my eyes, then tips his head to the side as if to ask me if that would be acceptable. There's no way I can say no to him. He has such a childlike expression before, but now he looks so mature and manly. How did he do it? Alright, sure.
そうこなくっちゃ。
The two of us begin making preparations to fire the cannon. Impey gets the device ready and I help him. We've been working together this way every single day. And I hope that we can keep doing this forever. I want to live like this every day, dreaming the same wonderful dreams along with Impey.
よーし準備完了。
We lay out the fuse and good distance away from the cannon. Then we sit down next to one another, shoulder to shoulder.
結構派手な勢いだからね。こいつが打ち上がる様子はきっとロンドンのどこにいても見える。
Felipe Van Helsing, Victor, and Saint Germain, they might all see it.
それどころかロンドン中が見上げるさ。本当にすごい科学の力ってやつを。
With a huge smile on his face, Impey looks over at the ignition switch.
よしじゃあ点火は2人でやろう。321でこのレバーを引く。いい？
Ready when you are. Impey places his hand on the switch, and I place mine gently over his.
じゃあ行くよ。
Right. I take a deep breath.
3、
I look over at Impey and see his serious expression.
2、
This is a dream shared between Impey and me.
1、
But this is still just our first step.
点火。
The cannon goes off with an intense blast and a cloud of dust sending the shell high into the sky. In the moonlight, the shell seems to be sucked into the night sky and disappears. Or so I thought. Suddenly, it looks as if there are two moons shining brightly in the sky. The shell's own mid-air blast sparkles in the darkness. It's drawn straight to the moon and taking our dreams with it. It's beautiful. I say it in awe with a sideways glance at Impey. He sits motionless, staring up at the shells that meteoric rise into the sky. Aren't you happy, Impey? You're getting closer to realizing the dream that you and the old man had.
それはちょっと違うよ。じいさんと俺と君の夢さ。
He looks away from the sky and turns to me, then says in a quiet voice,
あのさ、この実験がうまくいったら 君にしようと思ってた話があるんだ。
That why he wanted it to be just the two of them.
カルディアちゃん、俺と結婚しよう。
He's cute. These unexpected words makes my heart stop. Then my non-existent heart begins to pound, and I feel my cheeks flush. Impey? He gets so close to me that I can feel his breath, then speaks with great gravity.
1年前のあの日、お互いに誓ったよね。ずっと一緒にいるって。
Yes.
あの言葉通り、俺たちはあれからずっと一緒にいた。朝起きて最初に見るのは君の顔。夜寝るとき最後に見るのも君の顔。同じ家で暮らしてずっと同じ夢を追いかけてきた。
Yes.
でもやっぱりこういうのって目に見える形で誓いたいんだ。君をずっと離さないって。
So that's why marriage?
そう。ダメかな。
Impey stares at me. She's already told you yes twice. There are still so many problems surrounding us. I'm not human, but a homunculus carrying a horologium within me. There is a poison running through my body, and I can't even kiss Impey. But say yes. Any doubts I might have are blasted away by the light of the ascending cannon projectile and Impey's smile. None of these things are even obstacles for us. We're always together now, and I'm very happy. But can you promise me that you can make me happier? Impey smiles and puts his arm around my shoulder as he looks up at the sky.
当然。任せといてよ。
The dream Impey and I share will continue to move forward. Right now, our dream is to go to the moon. But even if we're able to make that reality come someday, we'll probably start chasing after some new dream. That's how it will always be. I'm going to walk towards my dreams alongside this precious man. Oh yeah, extra scenarios. Van Helsing's comes to mind. It leaves quite the image into your brain. This is the little thing that you get whenever you're about to unlock Lupin. You have to unlock all 4 of them to make Lupin's face, and it's like, oh, it's unlocked! Anyway, we're going to go to our save files, and we're going to do all the other endings. Okay, we're going to live save data 1. We're going to fight them. They're going to corner me at some point and capture me sooner or later. I think this is her first time on the Nautilus, and she gets seen by Twilight, and she's going to go rescue Impey. It might be better if I fight them and ask one where Impey is once I've captured them. Once you've captured them. Fortunately, Van Helsing has taught me some combat skills. I'll be alright. Let's do this. I don't think I read any of the bad endings myself. I hide in the shadows of the intersection and wait for the enemy to appear. Lucky for me, I find a large wrench, probably something used for maintenance. Soon, 2 enemies appear around the corner and pass right in front of me as I hide in the shadows. Now, I jump towards one of the soldiers and bring the wrench down on the back of the man's head. It's a clean hit and the soldier falls. The other soldier, although surprised, still draws his sword, but before he can completely prepare himself for combat, I hit him and he slowly sinks to the ground. Good, all taken care of. But as I'm thinking this... Huh? Something slams into my neck and I feel my consciousness fading. That's right. Van Helsing taught me how to fight, but he said something else too. The most important thing in combat is when to not fight. It's too late now to regret trying to take them on alone, even without even knowing how many I was up against. I'm sorry, Impey. Right after I whisper this, everything fades into deep blackness. Yeah, I definitely haven't read this before. Game end. Look at Impey, he's so sad. Alright, we're gonna continue. We're gonna do save data 2. And then we're going to we should head back. No, Impey. My voice is soft. Oh, he's surprised. I try to hide the tremble in my speech. You're the one in charge of this ship. You can't afford to make the wrong decision.
間違いって、君を助けようって気持ちが間違ってるわけないだろう。
My heart is torn, not over whether or not I'll survive. I just don't want to crush Impey's feelings, but it has to be said, and I have to be the one to say it. If we go for the Nautilus right now, there's no question that we'll be shot down. Getting everyone else killed trying to save me, if that happened, I could never forgive myself.
カルディアちゃん。でも、無事にたどり着ける可能性だって。インピー、ダメだ。黙ってろよ、ルパン。何がダメなんだよ。あとちょっとなんだ。あそこにたどり着くだけでいいんだ。
Hippie's agonized shouts reach everyone else through the voice tubes. After a short pause, Lupin is the one to break the silence in a pained, quiet voice.
空挺騎士団が敗走していく。この戦いを諦めたんだ。陽動がなきゃこっちは狙い撃ちだ。作戦の成功なんざありえねえよ。
なんだよそれ。カルディアちゃんが、この子が死んじゃうじゃんか。
このまま進めば彼女だけでなく皆が死ぬことになりますよ、インピ。
だったら俺だけでも。
Impey probably knows that the situation is hopeless, but he's desperately trying to brush those thoughts aside, just to save me. This pains me. Impey, thank you, but it's alright.
どうして俺と生きるんだろ。ずっと一緒に。
Oh, I've never heard him sound like this before. It's making me sad. I want to shout that I want to live. I want to run into his arms and sob, paying no mind to the others. I just want to shout that I want to keep living with him. But, sorry, Impey. I'd rather have him live than have everything end right here, even if it means that he'll hate me. Even if I lose my own life, Impey's dream will live on. Van Helsing, do it. With my words, the airship suddenly begins to descend. We fall through the sea of clouds and start to see the city of London far below us.
ちょっと、なんだこれ。なんで高度下がってんだよ。
ガス網の弁をいくつか開けた。この船はもう飛べない。
It's a little out of character how all of them are just like, you know, giving up, because throughout the entire thing they don't give up. They don't give up at all.
ふざけんなよ、バン。お前、なんてこと。
Looks like he's about to cry.
恨みたければ恨め。だが、これが最善の判断だ。
Impey rages for a while. He leaves the steering column and goes to confront Van Helsing. Go punch him in the face. However, once an airship has lost its buoyancy, nothing can lift it back into the sky. The ship heads for the ground despite anything Impey tries to do to it. Although, wouldn't the Nautilus try to shoot you guys down if you retreated as well? It's just gonna sit there and let you leave. Ever so slowly. It sinks gradually and softly, just like the life that remains within me. Oh, we get an extra scene here. That night, Impey and I are looking up at the night sky. We've left London, which has been completely destroyed, and are lying in the road where we can view the beautiful moon. Strangely, I feel no pain or suffering. Right now, I'm in a daze, and I feel at peace and just a little bit sleepy. The moon, it's so pretty, Impey. This is gonna be sad. They're gonna spend their final moments together as she dies on the side of the road.
ああ。うん。綺麗だ。本当に。
I'm glad I got to see it with you one last time. And I'm glad that you're next to me to share this with. Neither of us speaks for a while after that. The sky to the east has reddened slightly. Soon it will be dawn. Hey, Impey, can I ask you for one last favor?
何?
One last favor. You're breaking the man's heart. Would you hold my hand? After a brief moment, Impey places his hand over mine. I don't have the strength to move my own hand now, but I can feel the living, breathing warmth of his on my skin. I just want to forget everything right now and focus on his warmth. The result of that tragic battle, what will become of the world, how my life will end soon. I clear it all from my mind and smile. I close my eyes. Right before I melt and disappear into the darkness, something warm envelops my body. Ah, I'm so glad I loved him. He hugs her. My consciousness fades away along with the sensation of his embrace. I love you, Impey. The silent darkness is approaching, its depths as black as the night sky reaching into the infinity above us. The end. Oh my goodness, it's gotta elaborate. It just makes it even worse. He just holds her as she dies. I can't imagine that at all. Alright, go down a good end. A normal end, I should say. We have to start save data 2, and then we have to skip ahead until the very last one. Alright, so now we're going to choose the half-faith Impey. Stay with him once the happy end, half-faith, normal end. See what happens. Are you sure you'll be alright?
もちろん。俺が今まで君との約束破ったことある?
Arya's wavering eyes pull at Impey's heartstrings. Ah, I wish I could stare into those beautiful eyes forever. I want to stay at her side and simply look into each other's eyes for eternity. But there's no time left for the two of us. But there's no time left for the two of them to do this. Impey takes her hand. He gently pulls her forward and places his lips against her. The short kiss contains 100 years worth of love and the hint of a lie. Impey.
何? もう一度してほしい? じゃ、続きは脱出した後でね。
Impey laughs jokingly, then gently pushes her back.
カルディアちゃん、行って。
Alright. Arya leaps over a hole in the half-collapsed floor and runs off to the depths of the ship. Impey tries to clear her from his mind and turns back to the broken device.
さてと。
She's a kind girl. She'll probably look everywhere for that escape pod, then try to come back here when she finds it. It pains me to have to betray her.
積んだな、こりゃ。
He has an idea of what is about to unfold. With the ship's power source gone and the device broken, there probably isn't much propulsive force remaining. The Nautilus will no longer have enough thrust to support its own weight. The current state is probably very close to a free fall. There's no way to avoid the drop. It's up to him to minimize the damage.
よっしゃ、へこんでても仕方ねえ。ここは腕の見せ所だ。
Impey begins to work on the airship's control panel and is gradually able to adjust the ship's course slightly.
ロンドンの支柱に落ちるのは避けられない。
What about the river? The city should be mostly deserted now thanks to the repeated evacuation advisories. But if something of this mass were to crash into the city and set it ablaze, it would no longer be inhabitable. I thought it was going to crash into the palace.
だったら、テムズ川に。
There you go. He steers the ship's fall towards the Great River and silently feels that the end is near. I don't know why they're being so dramatic. I mean, in the last one, they stayed on the ship. It just pulled the emergency brake and everything was fine. But still, in order to carry out his final mission, he opens up the voice tube and delivers the last announcement to the entire ship.
カルディアちゃん、聞こえてる？俺だよ、インピーだ。今、館内放送で呼びかけてる。
Obviously, there's no response, but he continues speaking, hoping that his words are reaching her.
もう脱出艇は見つかった？見つかったって信じて言うよ。こっちに戻ってきちゃダメだ。部屋の入り口から通路は全部壊れた。ここまでは絶対たどり着けない。それに、ノーチダス墜落までほとんど時間もない。だから、君はそのまま脱出して。
There is a moment's silence. I wonder if she's surprised. Is she sad or mad? Impey opens his mouth to speak as he thinks about his beloved Cardia.
ああ、心配しないでよ。こっちはこっちでなんとかするさ。大丈夫だよ。そんじゃ、地上で会おうね。
He closes the voice tube. At the same time, Impey grimaces.
恋人に嘘つくとか、俺、ほんと最低だな。
He looks over to the side. There is a heap of rubble. Impey walks over to it and quietly sits down, resting his back against it.
天才は早死にするって本当なんだな。なあ、ネモ、お前もそう思わねえ？
I mean, if you just go pull the brake, you'll be fine. But he's like giving up. He's going and sitting down. Nemo obviously doesn't answer. Instead, all that can be heard is the sound of the Nautilus breaking down as it dies an agonizing death. He closes his eyes and sees the woman he loves before him. At first he was drawn to her fragile beauty, but gradually he became attracted to her beautiful and pure heart. And when that happened, he knew that he would sacrifice anything to protect her.
さよなら、カルディアちゃん。楽しかったよ。君と会えて本当によかった。
She's gonna like appear out of nowhere and be like, surprise! Impey smiles silently. Then with a booming roar, everything goes white. There's no music to go into the normal end. A huge locomotive enters the station, blowing out a gust of white steam. I squint my eyes and look at the train that I'm about to board.
いよいよか。
Yes, thank you for everything in this past year and a half in London. I'm kind of confused because I have a CG in my mind. I'm pretty sure I didn't imagine it. They're acting like he's dead. Maybe I'm getting confused with Lupins. this sentence, man. It's so out of whack I can't even read it. I say this in as official a manner I can as I bow and look around at everyone who has come to see me off. Oh my goodness. Lupin, Van Helsing, Victor. Deli and CC2. Saint Germain left for France a year ago, so unfortunately he's not around today. These are my precious friends.
しかし、あの事件からもう1年か。時の流れは早いものだ。
Yes, really. Almost a year has passed since the Nautilus attack. The Nautilus crashed into the Thames River, causing great damage to London. It even changed the flow of the river. But because everyone had evacuated, there were no civilian deaths. The minimal damage was all thanks to a single engineer who sacrificed his life to stop the crashing Nautilus. A year passed. The damaged portions of the city have almost been completely rebuilt. I'm about to embark on a journey to a new land across the ocean. Yeah, what I'm remembering must be in a different route.
よかったね。いい天気で。これなら船の出港も問題なさそう。
Victor, who smiles at me as he says this, has recently started up a clinic in the poor part of town. He provides care with a very reasonable pricing, and the people of the neighborhood endearly refer to him as Doctor.
着いたらまず手紙をよこすのだぞ。世の方からも手紙を書く。
You sound like he's about to cry.
決して忘れるなよ。
He's so cute. Of course, I'm sure you have a lot of work ahead of you, but good luck. Deli is a bit teary-eyed as he says his farewells. Currently, Deli is preparing to start an organization to gather the remaining vampires and protect them. He says his ultimate goal is to have the government acknowledge the existence of vampires through words, not with violence. As unlikely as it may sound, Van Helsing is the one cooperating with him on this. Deli demanded that Van Helsing help him as a condition for calling off his revenge.
お前ならば、向こうにもすぐなれるだろう。何かあったなら知らせろ。ここの暇人どもが手伝いに行くこともあるだろう。
Thank you, Van Helsing.
しかし、何が楽しくてアメリカかね。イギリスじゃできねえもんなの？
Lupin is the last one to approach me. I smile wryly as he scratches his cheek. What I'm trying to do probably sounds like some sort of fairy tale to any ordinary person. It's so very rare that I'd be able to find a sponsor to fund me. I can't let this opportunity go to waste.
そういうもんかね。もう決まったことだしな。気持ちよく送り出してやるよ。
I nod at Lupin's words. He remained in London searching for clues about the terrorist attack that Twilight had been planning. The Nautilus situation has come to a close, but the connection between Nemo and Twilight has never been clarified. Victoria disbanded Twilight and put out wanted notices for former members as accomplices in the Nautilus's attack. But many of the members involved are still missing.
しかし、インピーのやつ、どこで何してんだかな。
Harry and Lupin offhandedly muttered that to himself reminds me of that day. A year ago, after the Nautilus crashed into the Thames, searches pulled out many dead bodies. But Impey was not among them. Impey is still missing. I can't bring myself to believe that he's dead. He's probably alive somewhere, coming up with a new crazy invention. I can't help but think of this.
まもなく列車が発車いたします。至急ご乗車ください。
Well, everyone, I'm off. The bell sounds, cutting my thoughts short. I board the train. I reach my assigned seat and look out the window, seeing Lupin and the others waving to me.
体調に気をつけて。生水には注意するんだよ。
Only clean water.
実験の成功を祈っている。逃げ帰ってくるなよ。
手紙書くからな。
Or Deli.
行ってこい。そんでインピーの分まで大砲クラブの名前を有名にしてやれよ。
I will. Thank you, everyone.
発射します。
The sound of the steam whistle fills the platform as the train pulls out. I lean out the window and wave to the others as the distance between us grows. Now off to the new world, America. As a member of the Cannon Club, I'm carrying on Impey's wishes. I'm going to America to conduct a large-scale experiment in reaching the moon. I believe that Impey is watching over me somehow, somewhere. Time to go. I'm going to continue Impey's fight to show the world how wonderful science can be. I nod to myself and look out at the sky beyond the window. It's a nice day today. A perfect day to start something new. So they just leave you wondering if he's dead. Okay. Alright, we're gonna go do Impey's extra scenario. Extras. Impey. The sky is blue and mostly clear. A few fluffy white clouds shine in the sun. The sun beats down on everything else as well. It's so hot. I mumble to myself, squinting from the brightness of the day. This happens on a hot day after I've begun to become used to the life with Impey. Impey continues to work on his equipment to get to the moon as he does every day. I've come to ask what he'd like for a snack during his break.
もう一回行くぜ。そうだ、取ってこい。
Impey spins in a circle, then goes right after the flying ball. Seeing his sharp and precise movements, you never know that he has a prosthetic leg. I thought he was like going to roundhouse kick a machine or something. It's pretty funny. He catches the ball in his mouth after it bounces once. Then without even slowing down, he runs back to Impey.
よっしゃー、最短記録。やっぱお前はすげえな、シシ。
Aw, at least the dog's getting along with him now. He wrestles with the dog for a moment and Cece looks as happy as he could be. You both get so much energy when it gets hot out.
おう、見てくれた？今のこいつの勇姿。
I know, whenever it gets hot outside, I tend to migrate inside and hibernate and never come out. Yes, it was great. I think Cece's getting faster and faster. In response to my comment, Cece barks boastfully as happily brushing off my compliment. And he's warmed up to you so much.
ああ、もう感激だよ。一生懐かないかなって思ってたし。
I can't help but grin, seeing his happy smile. I'm remembering everything they went through before becoming such good friends. After everyone left the mansion, Impey asked me for a favor. From here on out, it would be just me, Impey, and Cece, 2 humans and a dog living together. But he wanted to take this opportunity to become closer to Cece. He wanted to learn from me since Cece had liked me from the moment we first met. To be honest, I don't remember doing anything special. But I'd like it if the two became good friends and there was no reason for me not to help him. Strategy 1. Pretend to be Guardian. I hid behind Impey as he spread his arms and called Cece's name. By doing this, we wanted Cece to make an association that Impey and I were the same. Okay. But he gracefully bypassed Impey and found me wherever I was hidden, so that strategy ended in failure. Strategy 2, we're all the same species. Impey wore a dog suit to see things from Cece's perspective and to break the ice. There was so much wrong with this plan. Impey put on the finished suit and jumped out in front of Cece, shouting confidently. But things went as I expected. Cece was afraid of him and this plan failed as well. We kept trying a variety of ideas after that, but none of them worked. When we were out of any other ideas, we decided to go with our last resort. We went to the trouble of visiting Victor and had him develop a perfume that smelled just like Cece's favorite food. Impey would wear that fragrance and try to get Cece to like having him around. It was a crazy plan. However, it was far more effective than we could have hoped. Oh, Impey.
おお、いい感じいい感じ。おいで、 おいでー
Oh. Finally, Cece jumps into Impey's arms all on his own.
おやったとうとう俺はやったよそんな舐めるなよシシいきなりデレデレだなお前
I'm gonna bite you.
痛いったダメだぞ勢い余って甘噛みするなんて
Did you smell like his food? Impey, he's probably serious.
はあだシシダメだこれ俺餌だと思われてる
Cece, no eating Impey. You'll make yourself sick. No.
あれ今最愛の恋人からさりげにひどいこと言われたようないったー
Funny. So that's basically what happened. For some reason, ever since that incident, Cece has warmed up to Impey. Impey rejoiced, saying that his feelings finally got through to the dog, but perhaps after biting him all over, Cece decided that Impey was a toy. I can't seem to shake this theory. In any case, it's true that they're a great deal closer now. Cece has definitely stopped biting Impey as much as he used to. I'm sure he thinks of Impey as a friend now. Maybe not quite his master yet.
しかし今日は暑いね吸血鬼が日光に弱いって人間の迷信今日に限っちゃ当たってるわ
No, when vampires say they hate the sun, it's because they burn in it. Like, literally burn. I know, it's really hot. Ever since I stepped outside today, the heat has been clinging to my body. I feel like I might collapse if I stay out here too long.
あ、そうだインピーさん名案思いついちゃったぜちょっとここで待っててくれよ
I know, I feel that way when it's like 85 degrees outside. But here in the Midwest, I mean, it's very humid here, and when it gets hot, it gets sticky and gross. Not as bad as Florida, but I mean, I would never go to Florida. My in-laws live in Florida, and absolutely not. I would not be able to live there. Impey. He snaps his fingers, then runs around to the back of the yard. Cece and I share a puzzled look. What could this brilliant idea be? We both cock our heads at the exact angle. Impey returns not 5 minutes later, carrying a huge machine. Several long flexible pipes are dangling from some kind of box. Is it a sprinkler? Impey, what is that?
これはねスイッチ一つで井戸水を汲み上げる優れもの
That sounds like an amazing invention.
本体はすでに井戸に設置済みだからあとはこっちのスイッチを入れるだけ
Impey activates his device and the box begins to shake.
どうせなら水が来る前に脱いだ方がいいかな
I don't know why, but Impey suddenly starts taking off his clothes. Should I take mine off too?
いいのぜひお願いしじゃなかった
Yes, please. That's funny. He's just taking his shirt off. Don't get too excited. It's funny that like the devices they have in this, what he's doing would be like a modern day sprinkler, but back then, that's all they had.
さすがに俺の前でそれはまずいから服はそのままでよろしく
If you say so. If I could cool down without taking my clothes off, all the better. As we're talking, I noticed that the long pipe Impey is holding has begun to wiggle, making some bubbling noises.
いざ蒸し暑い夏に潤いをカモン冷たいお水ちゃん
Whoa. Cold water suddenly splashes in my face. All the extra stories are going to be like this, some kind of hot image of the guy. Funny. Do I want to use this as my thumbnail? Probably. Maybe. I already had like 3 romantic ones for the thumbnail. Might as well have some less modest image.
ごめんごめん。ちょっと勢いが強すぎたかな。
I will not be posting Van Helsing's image as the thumbnail though, because it's even worse than this. Even as he apologizes, Impey is even wetter than me and certainly seems to be enjoying it. DC at his side barks with joy. And I like it too, of course. It's cold, but it feels good.
お、気に入ってくれた。こういう時は水浴びしちゃうのが一番いいよ。
Just don't have a white shirt on you to really work him up.
うん。しかし、濡れてる君はまた一段とビューティーだな。
Although you might not even need to. Huh? I don't think I'm any different.
何言ってんの？めちゃくちゃ変わるって。髪からこぼれ落ちる雫。水の反射で輝く肌。しっとりとあらわになるボディーライン。嘘です、シシ先生。今の冗談です。冗談。
DC Sensei. That's funny. Would this be my first Japanese Atomi game? I know for a fact I didn't pick up on all the different terms that they use in here. I recognize them a whole lot more now. But I mean, it even translated it to Lore CC, so you would have known that how he's addressing the dog. But still, it's just like when Nemo says Goki Genyo. Like, I wouldn't have known what that even means. I would have just assumed they translated it. I wouldn't have gotten curious to go look it up myself. What could he be talking about?
ああ、そうだ。いいもの見せてあげるよ。
Something nice? He tells me to watch, then adjust the direction of the pipe. What I see next over our head is... rainbow? Yeah. Wow, a rainbow! 7 curves of color float in the blue sky, enveloped by a glittering spray of water. I never thought I would see one so close, almost close enough to touch. Wow, you really can do anything, Impey.
当然。俺は愛する人のためなら虹だって作れる男なのさ。
Impey playfully hoists the pipe and the rainbow shines even brighter. It's like a projection of the inside of his heart. To me, it's the most beautiful rainbow that I've ever seen. Aw, that was cute. You know, I kind of liked that more than... I mean, the happy ending was good, don't get me wrong. They had a little romantic moment. I just feel like there were some other ones that were more romantic, and one of the scenes that I thought was Impey's was not Impey's. I really enjoyed this one. I think him shooting up a rainbow for her was more romantic than just proposing, but maybe because there's so many happy endings that already have a proposal in it. Anyway. Well, that is the end of Impey's Roots. I thought he had a different ending in one of them, so I'm trying to remember whose it was now. It's probably Lupus, because this can't... I don't think this is possible in any other route, but whatever. Well, I'm not going to talk about it, so we'll just have to get there when we read Lupin's. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, drop a like down below, and next we'll be starting down Van Helsing's route. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.